Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and today I will be making a fall card featuring Kraftin Kimmie's Leafy Mandala stencil and the Squirrel Friends stamp set, which these in combination with each other are just perfect. So I'm going to start off with the stenciling. I have the 6x6 stencil, which I really like the size of a 6x6, even though I mostly make A2 size cards. But the reason is because it is larger than your A2 panel. I feel like that extra stencil area has it's perfect to use with the waffle flower grip mat because then you can kind of tack it down onto your grip mat and everything stays in place. And you don't have to worry about taping anything down. You don't have to worry about holding it down tightly. And so what I'm going to do is just do this ombre going from a very lime green to yellow through to an orange red. I think the red I ended up with was it's Morocco. I think it's a Moroccan red or something similar to that. And so made sure to have a little extra of the yellow so that I could blend some of this red into the yellow and get a really nice orange where they overlap. So really great colors. I'm using Memento Luxe inks, which are a pigment ink. So be a little bit careful if you are using a pigment ink because you might get your fingers into it, and then if you're touching other areas of your panel, you might transfer some of that ink. So, when you're done, you might want to give it enough time to dry or maybe even heat set it just to just to, try to prevent fingerprints and smudgies. So the panel that I have stenciled onto, I'm actually going to use that in lieu of pattern paper because today I'm playing along with KCC 16 and I am going to make sketch number 2, which actually only requires one pattern paper, paper A. And you'll need 4 pieces of paper A that are 3 inches wide by 1 inch tall. So this panel that I've created is going to be more than enough. And I think I'll even have a little bit extra. Now, with the mandala, leafy mandala stencil, it is kind of centered. So if you look at it, there's a pattern to it that emanates from the center. So when I go to cut this down, I'm not just going to cut down from one edge and get my 3 inch length that way. I'm actually going to cut a little bit off from the left and from the right to keep that centered design. And that's just me though. If you want to use it a little bit off center, I think it would be very hard to notice, especially since we're cutting these into smaller strips anyhow. And the panel that I'm inking now, I'm using the exact same 3 colors, but instead I'm inking this directly onto my card base. So when I layer these on top of each other, they are going to have the effect of, coordinating really well with each other, but, offering some kind of solid, almost solid color cardstock in a sense, and as well having the same colors in the stencil pattern. So everything's gonna feel sort of tone on tone because I'm just using all the same colors. And in fact, I'm gonna ink up some more of my white cardstock to create some more solid color cardstock to layer on top of the stencil design. So this is one way where you can really make everything from scratch. If you don't have pattern paper, you can still play along with Kendra's card challenge. You can just make your own pattern paper. If you don't have a lot of solid color cardstock, no problem. You can make your own backgrounds using your ink pads. So what I've done is I've just I'm cutting some more strips of the ombre that I had that was left over, And I'm gonna add this to the inside of my card. I've really started to try to remember to decorate the inside of my card, especially with any leftovers that I have. But that strip came from a larger panel where I inked up, as I mentioned, all those same colors so that I can bring some of that solid color to the front. And this is why I was saying that if you didn't exactly keep your stenciled patterns centered, probably doesn't it probably wouldn't be noticed by anybody because I'm actually going to cover a lot of that up. Now, I mentioned that I made my stencil pattern to use as pattern paper, but I'm actually not following the sketch very well because the pattern paper are these strips here, which I've actually inked up myself to create these solid color blocks. And I used my pattern paper as one of the matte layers on my card. But as you can see, when I bring my card back, it's still going to have the essence, the look and feel of sketch number 2. So as you're playing along with Kendra's card challenge, feel free to make it your own. Feel free to adapt it. Feel free to take that layout as a starting position, as a place to just invigorate your creativity. And as you work on your card and you feel like it needs more or you feel like it needs less, you can adapt. And that's what happened with this card. When I started stenciling, I really fully anticipated that I would use that stencil as the pattern paper on this card, but it's so pretty. I really wanted a lot more of it to be seen, and I wanted to use the full panel rather than cut it down. And so that's what I did. And rather than have the pattern be just those smaller strips, I just made some more of my ombre paper and cut that down to use as in lieu of the pattern paper instead. So I off screen already stamped and colored some of these squirrel friends. They are really adorable. You get a lot of little images here, and they're small, so they're really easy and fast to color up. And then you also get a lot of sentiments in here as well. So I'm going to use I'm so thankful for you, and it's a little late in the game here, but I am going to stamp this. This is why I'm using my stamp positioning tool because pretty much everything is almost glued down. My little squirrels aren't, but the rest of the panels and the backgrounds that I created, all of that's already glued down. Usually, I would like to have maybe thought of this beforehand and stamped it before it went onto my card. So if there was a boo-boo, I could always I could always redo it. But everything turned out fine, and it was great. Now, I did feel like those solid panels, I think it looks great the way it is, but I wanted to add a little something extra to them. So I saw that in the stamp set there are these really small little images that are really cute. Little leaves, little pumpkin, there's a little mushroom, a little snail. And I thought those would be great to just stamp here and there as just little extra detail onto these solid blocks that I have. So I've pulled out my VersaFine Clair inks and I am stamping right over. So these are a little bit darker, just like a smidge darker than the inks that I created my ombre with. So it's still all very tone on tone, but it's just a smidge darker so that you can actually see it. And it adds a little bit of subtle detail that I think helps to make it look not so boring. So I had a lot of fun with that, and I love all the little images. They're really cute. I mean, you could really create a full background with just those if you wanted. So I've got those stamped out, and then the last thing that I'll do is adhere my little squirrels using some low profile foam. So my video today is part of a collaboration hop. We're all celebrating Kraftin Kimmie as a super sponsor of KCC 16. If you want to check out the rest of the videos that are on this hop, do expand that description box below. You'll find a playlist where all of the videos have been collected onto one playlist. That makes it really easy for you to find them all. As well, there is a giveaway with this hop. So as per usual, Kendra will be giving away a digital download. So be sure to enter for a chance to win. And if you want to make sure you don't miss the announcement of the winner from this hop, pop on over to Kendra's channel. She is Cards by Kendra here on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because that way you'll get an alert whenever she posts to her community tab, which is where she will announce the winner of this giveaway hop. So here's a look at my final card. I had a lot of fun with this one. The colors are really bright. I feel like it's a good transition from summer into fall, and I really had a lot of fun with this one. Thank you for catching my video today, and enjoy the rest of the hop. Happy crafting and have a great day. Bye!